Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Daniel Omoha and I'm so excited today because today we are going to be having our first class. For the past few days I've been putting up piano covers of different random trending songs, but this is the main deal of the channel. This is the main purpose why the channel was created, so that I can teach you how to play, not just play stuff and put out there, but to teach you how I do those things, to teach you how I play. So if you are watching this video, then it means either you are a total novice, you are a total beginner, or you are just a few weeks into playing the keyboard. You've clicked on the right video, you are at the right channel. You would hear pianists or keyboard players play a very, very amazing things, and you'll be wondering how do these people do these things. For example, let me just play something. Okay, that was just something random. So you would hear something like that, for example. You hear something like that, for example, and it's so amazing. It's all beautiful, so much melody, a lot of music, and there's a lot of hand movement, all over the keyboard, and it gets confusing, especially if you are just starting now to play. It gets confusing and it gets discouraging. You'll be wondering how is it that somebody is able to, how is it that one is able to know what you are playing? How do you know what to play and when to play? It's a lot of things. How do you know? That's what I'm going to be teaching us today. I'm going to be explaining all of that. So we are going to be dealing with four things. We are going to be dealing with the concept of notes. We are going to be dealing with the concept of scales. We are going to be dealing with the concept of chords, and we are going to be dealing with the concept of chord progression. Now, when you look at the keyboard, you would notice there are white keys and that they are black keys. There are white keys, there are black keys. Now, I want you to take note of something. There's an arrangement, a particular arrangement that it has. It's not just random. If you notice, there's two, there's three, there's two, there's three, there's two, there's three, there's two, there's three. You may not, if you are a beginner, you may not have noticed that there's a particular arrangement. It's not just random. There's two notes, there's three, there's two, there's three, there's two, there's three, there's two, there's three. Now, when it comes to the keyboard, if you take 2 and 3, you group it together. You assume this is 1. You group 2 and 3 together. You take this as another block, another one block. 2 and 3 together as another one block. 2 and 3 together as another one block. So if we should do that now, it means on this particular keyboard that I have 1, I have 2, I have 3, and I have 4. There are 4 blocks. Let's just call them blocks for now. There are 4 blocks that I have on this keyboard. There are keyboards with 5, there are keyboards with 6, there are keyboards with 7, there are even keyboards with 8. Yes, as you see some very, very long pianos, some long keyboards, they have up to 8 of them. So, if you take one block, for example, what is in one block is not different from what is in another block. 2, 3 is the same 2, 3. It's the same 2, 3. It's the same 2, 3. It's not different. So the secret there now is, if you can know what one block is and master what one block is, then it means you've known the entire keyboard. Since it's a repetition. So if you take, for example, now, if you take this, that's one block. If I go again, There's another block. If I go again, there's another block. If I go again, there's another block. So you discover the repetition of things. What I have here is the same with what I have here. It's the same what I have here. It's the same what I have here. And it's also the same with what I have here. But you will notice something, that as we progress higher, you will notice that the pitch or the sound is becoming lighter. It's becoming lighter. You will notice that, but it's the same thing. Or let's take this for example. The same thing, but it's becoming lighter. So the only difference is that what you have here, when you come here, this is on a higher octave, on a higher frequency, on a higher pitch. When you come here, it's higher. When you come here, it's higher. As you keep going up, it becomes higher. That's the only difference. So if you can know what is here, then it means you know what is here. And it means you know what is also here. And it also means you also know what is here. That's the secret to it. So now that brings us to what we call notes. Because each and every one of these keys that you see, they have names. And we refer to them, or we call them notes. Anything you play on the keyboard, anything you play on the keyboard, or on any musical instrument, be it a trumpet, be it a violin, be it a saxophone, a bass guitar, an acoustic guitar, any musical instrument, anything you play on that musical instrument is called a note. So for the keyboard now, you play keys. We refer to these keys as notes. And every note has a name. Now, basically, we have two ways we name our notes. We either refer to them using what we call chord names, or using what we call our letter names or our note names. So we have chord names and we have the note names or the letter names. They are quite different in the sense that if we begin to talk of our chord names, for example, if you look at the electronic keyboards on your screen, if you start talking about chord names, we have C, we have D, we have E, we have F, we have G, we have A, we have B, and we have C. So C and C is a repetition. So if you notice, if you go again, it's the same thing: C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. This my keyboard starts from C. There are some keyboards that start from A. There are some keyboards that start from E. Those are longer keyboards, 7-octave keyboards, 8-octave keyboards, 9-octave keyboards. So this particular keyboard I'm using, it begins with C. So we have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. We call that chord name or letter name. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. B, C. C is this same C. Just like you are beginning a new block, or you are beginning a new octave. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So I want you to take out some time and practice that. Put that to memory. So you put that to memory. Take out some time. Put that to memory. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Now, for the black notes, how you get the name of the black note is quite tricky. Now, follow me on this. It's quite tricky. So, for example, we have F. Now, this is a black note. For you to get the name of this black note, because every black note has two names, we can either refer to them as flat or as sharp. Either as flat or as sharp. So, we have F. F is surrounded by, this is F and this is G. Now this is surrounded by F and G. It's in between F and G, if you notice. Because after F, immediately after F is not G, but this black note. So if we want to get the name of this black note, we would then refer to it as F sharp. That means we are sharpening our end note. So we call it F sharp. Look at the screen. F sharp. Or we can also call it G flat. This is F, this is G. So we have, if we flatten our G note, if we flatten our G note, it's G sharp. If we sharpen our F note, it's F sharp. So sometimes you might hear some teachers or some players refer to this as F sharp. You will hear some other people refer to this as G flat. It is one and the same thing. Don't get it confused. It is one and the same thing. So okay, let's take another for example. This is G sharp or A flat. Why? Why is it A flat? It's A flat because it is surrounded by G and A. So if we go down, we say we are flattening our A note or we are sharpening our G note. So it's either G sharp or A flat. So it goes for every black note. So if we take this for example, we have C sharp or D flat. We have D sharp or E flat. We have S sharp or G flat. We have G sharp or A flat. We have A sharp or B flat. So most of the time you would see it written as C sharp, F sharp, G sharp, E flat, and B flat. But when you see someone call this A sharp, it is still B flat. Don't get it confused. Some people might prefer to use A sharp and refer to B. It is still B flat. It's one and the same thing. So you already know the name. So we have C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, D. Or you can decide to say C, C sharp, D, E flat, E, F, F sharp, G, A flat, A, B flat, D. So I want you to take out some time and practice that. Put it to memory. Put it to memory because for the rest of your playing, you will use it. For the rest of your playing, you will constantly use this. These are the foundations of playing the keyboard. These are the foundations of music because what I'm teaching is not just relevant just to the keyboard. It also applies to every other music instrument because they operate on the same principles. It's just that they're built differently. Some are wind instruments, some are string instruments, and then percussion instruments. But they are all built on the same principles. So now, this brings us to the concept of octaves. Now, I've been using the word blocks, but blocks and octaves are the same thing. You hear more of octaves than blocks. I call it block, just so I can explain it so you understand it. But the name is actually octave. And what does an octave mean? An octave simply means the combination of 12 notes or 12 notes. You just say 12 notes. So this is what it means. Now you understand it. We say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So when you combine the 12 together, it's called an octave. So if you remember when I started, I said when you combine 2 and 3, just to get you started and to give you the idea, I called it a block. So this is actually an octave. It's made up of 12 notes. If we leave this, another octave, another octave, another octave. So this keyboard has 4 octaves. That's what it is called, 4 octaves. We have keyboards with 5 octaves. We have keyboards with 6 octaves. We have keyboards with 7 octaves, 8 octaves, 9 octaves, 10 octaves, like that, and even more. But I'm using a 4 octave keyboard for this lesson. So with that said, now let us look at scales. I said we are going to look at 4 things: notes, scales, chords, and chord progression. So we've talked about notes. Now we'll talk about scale. Now in music, scale is basically or simply what you call a map. Just the way you can carry your Android phone or your iOS phone and you want to go somewhere, you've never been there, you can just open your map. It tells you where you are, and it tells you how to go to where you want to go to. So when we begin to talk about skills, that's what it means. In music, skills tell you where you are, skills tell you how to get to where you want to go to. So we have different types of scale on the keyboard. We have major scale, we have minor scale, we have melodic minor scale, we have natural minor scale, we have pentatonic scale, we have blues scale. We have so many types of scales, many scales, Arabian scale, different scales. But for this class, we are just going to stick with the major scale because it's the beginner scale or the first scale you need to understand. Once you can understand your major scale, every other scale springs out from the major scale. It will be very easy for you to understand every other scale, but first and foremost, you need to understand your major scale. So we are going to be dealing with the major scale. Now, what is the major scale? When it comes to the keyboard, there's a formula for it. And that formula is tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. I'll repeat it again. Tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. Let me explain what a tone is. For example, if I'm on G, what is the immediate note from G upward? The immediate note from G upward is not A. If you notice, when you look at it, you have A flat before A. Look at it. G, A flat before A. So if you are taking immediate, we have G. Immediate now will be A flat. After our A flat, immediate from A flat will be A. This might be tricky for a beginner. Just focus, you will get it. It's actually very straightforward and easy. G, the immediate after G going upward is not A, but A flat. Look at the keyboard. Look at it. Before G. Are you seeing it? G, A flat, before we have A. So, if I'm on G, and I skip A flat and I go to A, what I've simply done is that I have played a tone, or I have played a full note or a whole step. Now, if I should play the immediate, that is a semitone or a half step. G, A flat, that is a semitone or a half step. G, A, that is a full tone or a full step. So, what it simply means is that a tone means a full step. A tone means you will jump the immediate by one and play the next thing. While a semitone means you are playing the immediate, you are not skipping anything, you are playing the immediate. So you get that. Tone, semitone. So now I want to follow our formula that says tone, 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 semitone, tone, 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 semitone. Now look at it. Tone, 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 semitone, tone, 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 semitone. Let's go again. Tone, 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 semitone, tone, 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 semitone. Now you will notice if you listen very carefully, you will notice that it gave us do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do. Many of us are familiar with that. When it comes to music, you'll hear that alone. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, si, la, sol, la, mi, re, do. So that's what actually our major scale is. Tone, 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 semitone, tone, 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 semitone. Whenever you play that formula, if you played it correctly, what it will give you is do to do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do. Now, let me take us back a little bit. When I was talking about notes, I told us we have the chord names and we have the note names. The difference between these two is this. Your chord name, I only talked about the chord name. Your chord name will never change. If you travel from Nigeria, you go to US, you go to UK, you go to China, you go to France, you go to Canada, C remains C, G remains G, F remains F. It does not change. It's constant on the, you say you universal code throughout the world. It doesn't change. But for your note name, you see, I didn't talk about note name the last time because I wanted to explain skill first before I talk about it, so you can understand what the difference is. But for your note name will change depending on what it is that you are doing, or rather on what scale you are playing. So if we take the first scale, for example, which is the C major scale, using our formula. Now, this is Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Si, Do. But it is not constant, because if we should shift that scale up one step to D flat, for example, now, and we still follow that formula, you see, it still gives us Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Si, Do. Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Si, Do. So, it's not constant. Now, you want to get confused, but say this was Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Si, Do. Yes, Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Si, Do. So, it depends on the scale you are playing. The note name shifts. It changes depending on the scale that you are playing. If you go to F, for example, so you see that it has changed. Or if you come to your E, for example, you see Do, Re, Mi. So actually, every note on the keyboard is actually Do. Every note on the keyboard is Re. Every note on the keyboard is Mi. Every note is Fa. If you understand what I mean. So that's the difference. Chord names don't change. They are constant. C is C. It doesn't shift. But when you start talking of note names, it shifts depending on the scale that you are playing on. So the first scale, now we said we are dealing with our, remember now we are dealing with our major scale, and I said the formula is tone, 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 semitone, tone, 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 semitone. So anywhere you start from the keyboard, anywhere you start from, and you follow that formula, it will always give you Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Si, Do. So the first scale now is this, C. So this is our, if we should use that formula here, it's going to be our C major scale. If we use that formula here, it's going to be our D flat major scale. If we should start from here and we use that formula, it's going to be our D major scale. If we should start from there and we should use that formula, it's going to be our E flat major scale. If we should start from there and we should use that formula, it will be our E major scale, F major scale, G, F sharp major scale, G major scale, G sharp major scale, A major scale, B flat major scale, and B major scale. Simply following the formula: close, 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 semitone, 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 close, 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 semitone. I see. Close, 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 semitone, close, 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 semitone, close, 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 semitone, close, 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 semitone. So if we keep going down like that, it's the same thing. As long as you use that formula, it will always give you Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Si, and Do. It doesn't change. So I want you to take out some time. You can rewind the video, take out some time, and practice this. And if you are learning something, if you are new to the channel and you've not clicked on the subscribe button, if you are learning something, please kindly click on the subscribe button, like the video, and drop a comment. You can ask your questions in the comment section. I'm going to answer every question I see on the comment section. So let's continue. So now this brings us to the concept of chords. We've talked about notes, we've talked about scale. Now we will talk about chords and then chord progression. Chords and chord progression are similar, kind of the same thing, and then we'll call this class a day and continue another time. Chords. What are chords? For example, you come to the keyboard Now, you see what I just played? Basically, a chord simply means the combination of two or more notes. Now, any music you hear is made up of chords. Any music you hear is made up of chords. I said a chord is made up of two or more notes. So if I do this is a chord, 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 this is a chord. But you see, there are chords that don't make any sense. Not to your ears, not to your mind, not to your head, not to even your eyes. But it's actually a chord. We are following the definition of what a chord is. Because we said it is a combination of two or more notes. So whenever you play more than one note at the same time, we call it a chord. We call it a chord. Now, talking about chords, we have different types of chords. We have what we call the major chord. We have what we call the minor chord. We have the sustain 2 chord, the sustain 4 chord. We have the augmented chord. We have the diminished chord. Many of them, we have many types of chords, way more advanced chords that we'll be dealing with later on. But for now, we'll just stick to the major chord. So, if we take this for example, we say this is C. This is D. This is E, F, G, A, D. What it means is that each and every one of these notes have a chord. Like the same thing goes for the black also. They are not left out. They have their major chords. They have their mind. Each key has its own chord, or rather each note has its own chord. So if you take for example, we say this for example. Now we say, if you look at your hand, your left hand has a number pattern. Your thumb is 1, index 2, middle finger 3, 4, your ring finger 4, and your pinky is 5. So it goes like this for your left hand. Now for your right hand, let me do this. This is the left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right hand, left hand. So it's like this, it's like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now when you come to the keyboard, likewise, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's say that for example. Now if we want to build the C major chord, what do? We say 1, 3, and 5. That's how you build any chord. So if we take that, we have 1, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you look at the electronic keyboard now, the chord there, you see it's already told us C major. That's what it is, C major. If we take this for example, our D flat, and we want to build the major chord on that, we'll still use the same principle. But first, we have to get the scale. So okay, once we know that that's the scale, tone, semitone. Now we said 1, 2, 3, 5. What do you notice? Okay, now look at your screen now. It says C sharp or D flat. Remember what I was saying earlier on? That we either call it C sharp or we call it D flat. You see, it gave us C sharp or D flat major. I see. Let's build the F chord. For example, F major chord. So the same formula, we get our scale. Okay. So now, if we want to build our major chord, what do? We say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Major chord. That's major. The same thing goes for your G. 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 5. So when you go 1, 3, 5, you get your major chord. Now for your minor chord, So for now, we will not be dealing with the minor. We will come to minor chord later, but I need to talk about it. Major chord. If you should flatten your third, remember that I was talking about sharp or flat. This is your third. If you should flatten your third by a semitone, you get what? You get the minor chord. So you see it on the screen. C minor, C major, C minor. Sorry, C minor, C major, C minor. And you notice something about the sound. It sounds happy, excited. That kind of has a start feeling. If you've been around the music people, you hear them talking about minor chords and major chords. This is the foundation of it. C major, C minor, C major, C minor. The same thing goes for this. Just flatten your third note. This is our third note. People flatten it. It gives you a minor chord. So whenever you play the chord in root position and you flatten your third note, it gives you a minor chord. Now I just said something new now. Root position. What does root position mean? This is it. This is our C major chord. I called it root position because it is C major chord and our first note is C. I can decide to play this in what we call first inversion by taking this C up. You see, it did not change. It's C major. The same sound, slightly different. If you have sharp ears, I just simply took our C up. Now this is no longer a root position because this is a C chord and our first note is E, not C. So this is first inversion, and I can roll this again by taking our E up. This C major, but this is now the second inversion. So root position, first inversion, second inversion. Root position, first inversion, second inversion. Root position, first inversion, second inversion. I want you to take out some time to practice this. At the end of the lesson, I will give us exercises that will cover this lesson so that by the next time that we are going to be meeting again, you would have understood this and would have practiced it. Your muscle memory would have understood it likewise. So C major chord, root position, first inversion, second inversion. The same thing goes for our F. The same thing. What I'm just simply doing is taking the note up. This is F. I take it up. This is our A. I take it up. F major. Or even if we come here now to our F sharp, for example, we get our scale. So to get our chord, we say it's 1, 3, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are you seeing? Now, if we flatten our third, use us the minor. F sharp. So, we say 3 bar inversion pattern. Root position, first inversion, second inversion. So, you take out time. What I want you to do is, I want you to start from C. Practice it on C. That is, practice it on C, your scale. And there's a formula for that. For your right hand, remember I said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The right hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the formula is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for your C major scale. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is it. 1, 2, 3. Then your thumb will cross under 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 1, 2, 3. Your thumb goes under to F. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Thumb crosses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is for your right hand. For your left hand, so you take out time to practice that so that your fingers will get used to it. Before now, you now begin to practice your chord. C major chord, C major chord, you practice it for every note in major chord. So you take out time to practice that. Now, when you practice that and you have understood that, then we'll talk about chord progression. But for now, I think I would end the class. I will allow us to practice the things I've talked about, allow us to learn the things I've talked about. The next time we would meet again, I will start from chord progression. So, if you have any questions, just drop your questions in the comment section. I will respond to every question. And if you have not clicked on the subscribe button, please kindly click on the subscribe button and like the video and drop your comments. I will be waiting. See you guys in the next class. Bye.